The deep ocean is the most unexplored, hostile, and terrifying place on Earth. It is a fact that more humans have walked on the moon than have seen the bottom of our own oceans. Down there, sunlight never reaches. The pressure can crush steel, and life evolves into shapes we can barely even understand. Today, we're diving into the 5 scariest things ever discovered in the deep sea. These are all real, documented, and stranger than anything you'd find in science fiction. Let's begin. First up, we have the Bloop, the loudest unexplained sound ever recorded. In 1997, the US National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA, recorded something that shocked scientists around the world. It was a sound so loud it could be heard from over 3,000 miles away on multiple underwater microphones. They called it the Bloop. Now, what made this sound so eerie was that it was organic, meaning it didn't come from machines, explosions, or shifting ice. But here's the terrifying part. If something alive caused it, that creature would have to be far larger than a blue whale, which is the biggest known animal on Earth. Imagine that for a second. Something bigger than a blue whale lurking in the depths. For years, the Bloop was completely unexplained. People speculated about everything: a hidden sea monster, a prehistoric creature still alive, or even something from the deepest trenches we've never explored. Some scientists now believe it might have been the sound of ice fracturing, but no one can fully prove it. And because the sound was so incredibly loud and so perfectly organic, the mystery still isn't closed. It's a chilling reminder that the ocean hides things we might not be ready to meet. Next, we have the Mariana Trench shapeshifter, a creature with no known species. During a deep-sea expedition in the Mariana Trench, the deepest place on Earth, cameras recorded a creature so bizarre that scientists still cannot classify it. It looked like a ghostly gelatinous mass drifting slowly across the seafloor. But it wasn't swimming, and it wasn't walking. It was morphing, changing its shape like it was made of liquid. This creature had no visible eyes, no skeleton, and no recognizable anatomy. It didn't match any known species. What terrifies scientists most is that it didn't move like any animal ever documented. It seemed to pulse and reshape itself, as if it were a living blob of goo. Some believe it's a new form of deep-sea jellyfish. Others think it could be a completely unknown phylum, an entire branch of life we haven't discovered yet. And a few scientists quietly believe it may be something that evolved under pressures so immense we couldn't even survive long enough to study it. Whatever it was, no one has seen it again, leaving us to wonder what else is down there, shape-shifting in the darkness. At number 3, we have brine pools, also known as the lakes of death, at the bottom of the ocean. Imagine diving thousands of feet underwater and suddenly finding an entire lake sitting on the ocean floor. It sounds impossible. But brine pools are real. They have their own shorelines, waves, and currents, all happening underwater. And here's the terrifying part. Anything that touches a brine pool dies instantly. The water is so salty and toxic that it acts like a chemical trap. Fish that swim into it are immediately poisoned, frozen in place, and preserved like eerie statues. These lakes of death contain hydrogen sulfide, extremely high salinity, and other toxic gases, making them biological dead zones. But here's where it gets even weirder. Around the edges of these deadly pools, there are creatures that feed on pure chemicals, life forms, totally alien to anything on the surface. Some scientists compare brine pools to what oceans might look like on Europa or Enceladus, icy moons believed to host extraterrestrial life. So when we look at these deadly underwater lakes, we might be looking at life forms similar to what exists on other worlds. Coming in at number 4 are the whale fall monsters, the creatures that feed on the dead. When a massive whale dies, its body sinks thousands of feet to the ocean floor. And what happens next is straight out of a horror movie. A whale carcass becomes a deep-sea feeding ground that can last for decades. Within hours, it attracts some of the strangest creatures on the planet. We're talking about zombie worms that eat bones, giant isopods bigger than house cats, e-pout fish with huge, gnarly teeth, vampire squid, and bone-eating bacteria that release acidic slime. There are even parasites that live inside the whale's skull. One of the scariest of these creatures is the Osedax worm, also known as the zombie worm. These things have no mouths and no stomachs. Instead, They grow acid-filled roots that dissolve solid bone. For 50 years or more, the whale fall becomes its own ecosystem, a dark, decomposing city filled with scavengers, parasites, and unknown organisms. It's a gruesome reminder that in the deep ocean, nothing is wasted. Everything becomes food for something else. Finally, at number 5, we have black smoker vents, the underwater hellgates. At the bottom of the ocean, there are structures that look like massive chimneys rising from the seafloor. These are called black smokers, and they shoot out water that is over 750 degrees Fahrenheit. This water is completely dark, toxic, filled with metals, and it's so hot that it should boil, but it doesn't because of the immense pressure. Standing near one would melt your body instantly. Scientists sometimes call these vents portals to hell because the water looks like black smoke rising upward. But what's even stranger is that life thrives here. The creatures around these vents don't need sunlight at all. They survive on chemicals instead of photosynthesis, a process called cheosynthesis, something we once never thought was possible. This includes albino crabs, eyeless shrimp, glowing bacteria, and giant tube worms that turn into blood-red plumes. There are even transparent organisms with antifreeze blood. These vents prove that life can exist in conditions that should be deadly, which also means life could exist in extreme environments on other planets. What we see in these dark, toxic vents may be the closest thing we have to alien biology. The deep ocean is still more than 80% unexplored. We've mapped the moon, we've mapped Mars, but we haven't even mapped our own planet. Every single time we send cameras deeper, we find something stranger, something that defies our understanding of life itself. So, which one terrified you the most? The Bloop, the shape-shifting creature. The brine pools of death. Drop a comment below and I'll make a full video on the one you choose. Thanks for watching Mind Warp Facts, and do you and T forget to like and subscribe for more mysteries of our world and beyond.